Welcome back to another episode of Two Joes and a Pro. As always, Kenny, Ryan, Brian, we're happy to have you guys back. There's a lot of things going on this week. We got football, NFL Week 1, and it's. I don't even know how to explain it.
It's tomorrow. That's what it is.
It's tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to it. But before we get into that, we're going to recap eventful college football weekend last week. So I'm going to touch on that real quick. We had Minnesota-Ohio State game. I believe that was on Friday. And it was definitely intense. Ohio State had a little nail biter in the beginning. And they pulled it out at the end. I believe his name is Ibrahim. It was a running back from Minnesota. He was balling out. They could not stop him. Me and Brian called it. Brian most definitely called it with the money line on Penn State, Wisconsin. He told you guys, if you guys were listening to BK Best, to take the money line. I told you to take the points. So we hit on that one, and Penn State looked good, man. They showed some resiliency coming back in the end. It was a tough game. It was a great game to start the day. It was a 12 o'clock game, so it was great to start the day. And it was exciting to watch. And then getting into the 3 o'clock game or 3:30 game was Alabama-Miami.
Who won that game, Brian?
Answer, Brian.
So listen, okay, I picked the wrong upset. Okay. I should have picked Tulane on the money. I mean, not the money line, the spread. I just had the wrong team. My bad. I knew one was going to happen, though.
Yeah.
Bear with me.
And it was the wrong one. And with that being said, I kind of told you what we do as Alabama. It's the reason why they call us roll tide, because we roll you over and you get out the way, right? That's what we do. And I told you Nick Saban is just the best when it comes to like prepping for a team and to start the year. Like, he doesn't lose. And Miami showed their true colors that they're trash, and that's what it is. And shout out to my boy Bruce. I know he was pissed, infuriated that Miami got their head stomped in, but that's what it is.
I think we need to record everything you just said and reiterate it next week when Brian is giving us this same talk about a Miami team that was coming into New England, because me and you both picked Miami to upset New England this week, week 1. But Brian is going to be saying the exact same thing. No one is going to come and Bill had preparation all offseason against this Miami team. There's no way he's going to lose it. Like, it's going to be the exact conversation.
There's no way he let Brian Flores come down and outsmart him. There's no way. But I'll tell you one thing. Brian Flores will outsmart him. They will win. Right? And not only with that, he's not Nick Saban. Nick Saban doesn't lose to his assistants. But guess what? Bill Belichick will lose to his assistant. So
how many opening games has Bill Belichick lost?
We're not talking about opening games. We're talking about this week coming
out. Since 2003. I think it's 3 since 2003. I looked at it.
But guess who they had?
What? They had
Tom.
Yeah, they also had Bill Belichick still.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but guess what? You have the greatest quarterback of all time. Bill Belichick is like an asterisk in that when you're talking about Tom Brady.
Was Tom Brady the best quarterback of all time in 2003? I'm just saying.
He was prepping to be the best quarterback of all time.
Sure.
He kind of came out the gate winning. Okay,
yeah.
Let's not act like he was just he just skated along. No, he came out the gate like, listen, I'm here to stay. They told Drew Bledsoe, hey my guy, I know you were good, but you want to take that back seat. Mm-hmm. So with all that being said, let me just finish up and then I'll let you get back to it, okay? So with that being said, we had Vodtech, North Carolina. They played, and I know Ryan's gonna have something to say to us. I want hit his note that he's talking about on that one. But North Carolina in the Bluesing, I thought it was funny that Mac Brown came back and said, we were just overrated. That's all. We were just overrated to start the season. A lot of people have hype on us and we're overrated. I was like, if you would have won, then you would have been like, hey man, that's where we're supposed to be. We're one of the best teams in the country, but since you lost, now you're saying we're just overrated. I thought that was weird coming from, a guy like of his caliber, coaching for so long and having great teams when he was at Texas. So I thought that was weird. But yeah, Brian, what do you have to say to that?
What? To
Matt Brown? I'm not Brian. My bad. Ryan. My bad.
Oh, I just want to. I was interested to see like what those quarterback prospects were going to look like this year, and like these NFL teams, they're getting ready to tank some of them are getting ready to tank their season for these players. And
Houston.
for
already?
Yeah.
The season didn't start. They about to take.
Houston's ready. Detroit will be ready by like week 3 with Goff. Like you'll see it. But right now, I don't think that any of them can tank it because Sam Howell looked awful. He threw 3 interceptions. He was like hitting people at the linemen at the line of scrimmage. Granted, he was getting a lot of pressure. Like he looked bad. And then like I won't even get to like the other top prospects. But like Rattler didn't look great. And it was just rough. It was a rough weekend for quarterback prospects in college football this last week.
Do you think that is from overconfidence and like getting all this publicity and hype, and then now they're getting paid money? Do you think that they're losing focus rather than before when you had a reason to want to get out of college to get to the bag? Now you see a lot of these big quarterbacks, they getting $1 million endorsements, a couple 100,000 endorsements. Do you think that has something to do with it?
I mean, I think it's probably some of it is a factor. It's their performance is less. It's less about that and more about like the system or the college that you go to. For example, like Spencer Rattler is going to a school where there's been like a top quarterback drafted almost every year.
Every time.
So like,
Yeah.
it's almost about like if you're a player in high school and you're getting ready to commit to a college, if you're playing the wide receiver position, where are you going to go play college ball? You're going to try and go to Alabama. You're going to try and go to Ohio State. You're going to try and go to LSU.
Like
yeah, you're going to try and go to these top schools where they're just like feeding out receivers, they're feeding out quarterbacks, and I think that's a part of it. And they go to these schools with these great offenses, and then they just don't work as hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know about work as hard because you go to those type of schools, you gotta compete as much, compete way more, I believe, because the threshold of talent is closer and everybody's kind of similar. But I do think it's complacency that takes issue. Like,
yeah, it's a better word for it.
This notoriety, you get complacency. And then to my last game of the night is Georgia Clemson, which, boy, if you like defenses, that was a game. Like, that was a baller game. Like, I really like people. I like offense, of course. I'm an offensive-minded person. But to see the non-scoring and to see, like, the different schemes, the stunts, the twists. Brian, I don't know if you were watching the game, but you should have paid close attention because I know before you were talking about all this cover one, you would have saw a lot of different coverages to help you, better analyze. When you're trying to compete with me.
Oh, I don't know coverages now. Okay.
Nah, I didn't say you don't know coverages. I'm just saying to better assess the coverages because there was a lot of different disguises that you probably not seasoned. You're probably not Adobo enough for it. Yeah.
Listen, buddy. His favorite NFL head coach is a defensive-minded guy. That essentially makes him like a pseudo defensive coordinator for the Patriots. So I think Brian knows what he's doing.
I mean, you should see me calling the plays in Madden. Okay, I know what I'm doing.
Cover 3 cloud is unstoppable. Okay.
I prefer cover 3 match, but hey, to each his own.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all I have for college football. To recap for last week, I'm looking forward to this week. There's a few games that's going to come on this week. I know the big game that everybody's looking forward to is the Ohio State Oregon game, which is probably going to be pretty intense. Being in the horseshoe, all the fans are going to be out there. Only issue is I know I think how you say his, I don't even know how to say his last name. I think it's Tubaraks. I don't know how to say the defensive end from Oregon, right? He's a number one prospect coming out, right? Last name starts with a T and it has like that little hieroglyphics looking type of lettering, like he's from LSU. You know how LSU had that the debut, whatever. You know what I mean?
Accent mark.
The accent mark, whatever, guys.
This is getting worse.
I don't know how to say his last name, but guess what? He's not going to be playing. Or
So
I think
stop
he's probably going to
trying.
be playing. So it'll be it.
Man,
Okay,
he's
I'm done.
Chiseling his name in stone because it's in hieroglyphics. Yeah, we got you, Kenny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks great. All right.
Ancient Mesopotamia.
Hey, Brian, you got any? Is baseball even happening right now, or did they take the week off?
Yeah, man. Baseball is happening. Actually, I think that I was seeing some stuff about the Hall of Fame. They just did the Hall of Fame inductions, I think. I don't know. I saw it on social media, so it must be true. But
Facts.
No, I did see something about Derek Jeter or something like that having it, but I don't know if that was a Hall of Fame.
yeah,
I don't know.
Derek Jeter, Larry Walker.
Yeah.
I think they just did it. But yeah, so I wanted to share a little something about Derek Jeter. I definitely think that he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, but I don't know why people got upset that one guy didn't vote for him, so he didn't get 100% votes. He's not deserving of that. He's kind of overrated. He was a great yeah. So just bear with me. He played
Hot take. Hot take.
Yeah, I know. He played for over 20 years, so he has all the counting stats that you would want in a Hall of Famer. But he wasn't even the best shortstop when he started out. Like the first 7 years, it was Nomar. And you could have put A-Rod over him too at the time, because A-Rod was a shortstop at the time. Until Nomar got hurt, and basically his career fizzled out, and then A-Rod moved to third because he joined, because he went to Texas, I think it was, is where he moved to third, maybe, or no, when he went to New York is when he moved to third. But basically,
he went to
until those two things happened, Derek Jeter was not the greatest shortstop in the game. So he had to have a guy basically have to retire early, and a guy move positions for him to be the best shortstop in the game while he was playing. I'm just saying.
I don't know if that's necessarily the case though, because Derek Jeter, when A-Rod did come over there, he was already established as the dog, the captain of the team. So you're not going to move him for A-Rod.
He was the captain of the team. Like that's a great thing to have. Like that means you're a great leader and you're a really likable guy. I mean, but you know that the captain for the Red Sox during that time period was Jason Varitek. He's never making the Hall of Fame. Yeah, so the captain really doesn't mean that much in this discussion.
Probably not for the Red Sox, but for the Yankees it does. You know what I mean? For a team that wins championships, it does. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How many have they won since 2000? I'll wait.
How many have they won of all time? Have the Red Sox won more?
Hey, so that's just like counting all those Celtics championships in the 60s.
Yeah, you might as well, because you guys still consider that.
I just want to make sure our arguments are fair. Then.
Yeah. Because you guys still consider that.
I'm going to count those while you count your Yankee championships. Okay. Yeah. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I'm good with it. My bad. Let you continue.
But anyways, I just wanted to point out this thing that I came across, this tweet from Jared Carrabis, who is one of the biggest MLB guys right now. He's a big proponent for the game. He has Nomar versus Jeter, 97 to 2003, which is before Nomar got hurt. Nomar was leading every statistical category besides singles. So home runs, RBIs, total bases, WAR, top 10 MVP finishes, you name it, he was leading it. So I'm just saying, Jeter got kind of lucky that a guy like Nomar got hurt, and then A-Rod, went and switched positions. Just saying. So
Bill Russell got lucky. He had a good team while he was playing. Man, he got all those rings. He's lucky he got that.
Yeah.
Like what? You can't fault somebody for being put in a good situation and capitalizing on that situation. You can't get mad at them for that. It's not like
Brady got lucky.
Yeah, Brady got lucky to get Bill Belichick, man. He got lucky. He doesn't deserve those rings. He got lucky for that.
You're right, he did. He did get lucky.
Oh, my God.
He was a sixth round pick. I mean, what do you want? No.
So would you be offended?
What?
Would you be offended if he was not unanimously voted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
Yeah, if they said...
Yeah, I would.
Why?
Because...
Why? He got lucky. He got lucky to be put in a good situation like that.
Yeah.
If Aaron Rodgers got put in that situation, he got put in the same situation Aaron Rodgers, I don't think he would have the same result. He got lucky.
He got lucky he married a billionaire wife so that he could take pay cuts so his team could get better in New England.
No, he recognized his mistakes when he got rid of Bridget, and he went to...
Yeah, he definitely leveled up.
He upgraded.
He got lucky.
Okay.
He got lucky.
That was his choice. He didn't get lucky. He knew what he was worth. The man knew what he was worth.
He definitely leveled up, to say the least. Like,
but yeah,
all the way leveled up.
Going back to the base, so I just wanted to bring out that Derek Jeter is very deserving of the Hall of Fame. I'm not trying to Shit
Such
on
a
the
different-
parade.
I regress everything I said.
But,
I love Derek Jeter. That's
No,
my
I don't
favorite
love
player.
him. I respect his
He just
game.
deserves that one less vote.
Listen, longevity is a key to, making Hall of Fame. That's why, bum ass Eli is gonna make the Hall of Fame one day. So,
That's right,
it is
baby.
what it is.
Suck it.
It's part of the resume, so I'll give it to him. He played a long time, got all those stats. Congrats, Derek Jeter. But Nomar was better.
All right, is that baseball?
Yeah.
I mean
is that baseball or was it the Jeter hate?
No,
Which
yeah,
one was that? What
There's a little bit
segment
of
was
both. I mean, there's not much going on in baseball. I mean, they got the playoff races. Not much has changed since last week. I'll give you a better update next week when some movements actually, occurred.
Yeah. When we're knee deep in NFL.
Exactly.
All right, I'm gonna run down some news for the NFL. Latavius Murray was released from the Saints everyone kind of projected this to happen. Their undrafted rookie running back came in and was performing well, and then they asked Latavius to take a pay cut, and he was like, "No, I'm good." And so the Saints released him. They turned around once they released him. I think these two were connected a little bit. Once he was released, they went and traded for Bradley Roby, who's serving a 6-game suspension. He's got one more game to serve left, and then he's good to play, so he'll be ready for week 2. I feel like you have to be a cornerback for Ohio State or a defensive back for Ohio State in order to play on the Saints, because they traded for Eli Apple. They got Marshawn Lattimore. I think they had Von Bell in the secondary back there.
They did.
Malcolm
Jenkins.
Jenkins was there. Yeah, so it's just they love that Ohio State defensive back unit. Jimmy G kind of came out and officially named himself the starter. I think his direct quote was, "It's official, I guess." So I don't know what that means, but
what?
he's the starter for the in an interview he was he was basically confirming he was the starter. He said, "It's official, I guess." So I don't know what that means.
Some feathers in there, man.
He's
trying to stir up the pot in there, trying to get some things going, because he sees the writing on the wall. He knows it's only a matter of time before he gets out of there, so he's just trying to put himself in a better situation. Kind of like what you said last week, Brian, just putting this going on audition for a couple weeks. He's like, "Hey man, shop me around."
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Eckler sat out of practice this week, so I'll talk a little bit about this during the fantasy portions, but he has a hamstring injury, so he sat out of practice. I don't know if this is smoke or if it's actual, this is a real legit injury. It's something we're going to have to monitor the rest of the week if you play fantasy football. But just keep an eye out for someone like Justin Jackson, who had some spot fill games. I think he's the running back to have and not Joshua Kelly, because they tried to give him the workload last year and he just wasn't doing it. And Justin Jackson was the guy.
But do you think it's not because he was a rookie last year and he suffered in that case? Because I feel like last year he had issues trying to understand the playbook and things of that sort. And I feel like they wanted to give him that second man role, but he just failed every time. And then Justin Jackson came and did his part, being more seasoned, because he's not really a veteran.
I mean, it's possible, but I think if Eckler's not a long-term injury, the guy I'm going for a spot fill, I need to put someone in there, is Justin Jackson. That's the player I'll probably get.
Understandable. And that's a little caution for me because of the last year, him pulling the hamstring.
Yeah.
Didn't he popped his hamstring off the bone last year, right?
Yeah, that was his big injury, was his hamstring. Yeah. So that's a little worrisome. He's been fine all offseason, and then week 1 he's taking it easy. So I don't know. He shows up on the injury report and he's practicing on the side. It could be a maintenance thing, and we have an excuse to say you have a hamstring injury, so maybe you're working on the side. But I don't know. Who knows? Something to keep a lookout. The Ravens are trying to find anyone with a pulse to play running back behind Gus Edwards. They're out here signing Lev Bell to the practice squad. They brought in Devontae Freeman for a workout. I would not be surprised if they're giving Latavius Murray a call if he once he clears waivers. I'm not sure. Does he goes through waivers, right? Once he gets released, I don't know when that goes through, but I'm sure they'll be the first ones giving him a call if he clears waivers.
But would you not do the same thing when you got
yeah.
a torn ACL and then Hill pops his Achilles?
Yeah, I do the same thing.
So, by the way, I really feel, I know I'm not trying to cut into your fantasy
you're
segment,
good.
but I really feel good about Gus Edwards. I really feel good for the first 4 weeks, I would say that, because I'm a little scared now, because if he's getting all the carries, it's something in that Baltimore turf that he might pop his too. You know what I mean? Like,
who's that? Tyson Williams? Is that the second running back they got?
Tyson or Ty was something like that.
Yeah. I like him. I think I picked him up in like a dynasty league just as like a throwaway. He could see some workload if he's getting some looks, you know what I mean? Just by no opportunity. I think Lev Bell doesn't have it, so that's me.
Hey, you saw what he tweeted. This is going to be the year that he proves everybody wrong. This is going to be the year.
I like Lev Bell.
I do too. I like him in the Ravens offense because they're a run heavy team. Yeah. I feel like he could get busy. That's the only reason why because they're going to upgrade him from the practice squad, of course, right?
Yeah.
I actually like the compliment between him and Gus. I just hope he doesn't get into his Pittsburgh bag and start getting that pace and going, because then it could get ugly for Gus. And they'll be like, hey, peace. You know what I mean? But not peace, but he's going to take a back roll because he can do, because I don't think Gus is a catching back. He probably can catch, but I haven't seen him catch as much, right? In a role there when you use J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Lev Bell, I feel so bad for him because, like, I loved him as a player. He went to the Jets and unfortunately got sucked into the Adam Gase vortex of, like, where your career goes to die. Like, it's literally the worst place ever. But Adam Gase has a history of players that leave his system usually end up doing well somewhere else. So maybe Lev Bell, but he didn't really show us anything last year in Kansas City. It wasn't like he was popping anything off, but like
nobody did.
Yeah, that's true. So we'll see. Maybe Lev Bell, but I'm staying away from it just because I think it's a lot of smoke. Vikings extended their right tackle, Brian O'Neill. I don't know if anyone cares, but if you're a Dalvin Cook owner, you're gonna like that. Wentz is on track to play Week 1, so that's good news. I didn't hear anything more about the guard Nelson, but I like having Wentz out there, especially if you're a Michael Pittman owner and you expect big things.
So what do you think about Jonathan Taylor? Do you think that helps him? I'm still curious to see what happens. I don't know if they're going to let him have the rank. Like,
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. That's why I stayed away from him in fantasy.
Yep.
I feel like in fantasy he's dropped a lot too, because you see everybody has got the same idea. Like, I don't know if I want to grab him, but
which means he'll have like a baller season.
Yeah, he has the best season out of everybody.
Yeah,
like, golly.
I think he's
Frank Wright, man.
It's just it's the system.
Yeah, he doesn't like to let everybody eat. But is that all you got for football, Ryan?
Yeah. Until fantasy football.
Until fantasy football. Until Ryan's fantasy, right? So we'll just transition straight into, the great debate, the great discussion for the week. Really, because it's Week 1 coming up, I kind of want to get you guys' thoughts and opinions on who or what game are you guys looking most forward to this week coming up, to start Week 1. So whoever can start it off.
I'll start. I'll just get this out of the way. I, of course,
know.
am looking forward to the Patriots versus Dolphins game. Okay?
Oh!
Yeah.
What?
Mind blown.
Out of left field.
I can't believe that. The Patriots?
Yeah.
My
I never
jaw
thought you were
is on
going to
the
say
floor.
that one.
Yeah, but I'm going to talk about the Dolphins, too. So, it's like a 2-for-1.
Let's hear it.
No, in all seriousness, this is year 2 for Tua. So, some people think he's going to take the step and be a good quarterback. Other people, a little skeptical.
Me.
Hey.
I think Tua is going to take a step.
Listen, the Dolphins still have a really bad offensive line, so I do think the Patriots will win this game. But if Tua is the guy, he does have weapons around him. I'll give him that. Jalen Waddle was a big upgrade in the wide receiving core. So Devontae Parker is still a beast when healthy. So I think, and Gesicki, of course, can't forget about him.
Fuller whenever he gets off of that.
Well, yeah,
Damn.
Fuller's going to be a good straight line, speed guy. Take the top off the D kind of guy if you're into that. I'm not sure about their running
You're
back
into
situation.
that.
Yeah.
You're into taking the
I'm
top
not.
off.
I'm not
D.
that big on their running back team. So, listen.
Oh, you don't like the gas man?
No, I don't.
Come on, baby.
I'm not big
He's-
on Gaskins. I
Okay.
really think their run game in general is not going to be that great this year. So it's going to be very pass reliant. So we will see if Tua is the real deal. Maybe not in week 1, but it's going to take the whole season. So, hey, listen, this is my turn. So you guys shut up, and I'm going to speak. All right, thank you.
Yes, master.
Whoa. Somebody's been watching Django Unchained. Anyways,
Yo, cut it out. Cut it out, man.
man. Anyways, the Patriots, this is going to be big only for Mac Jones, really. I think that their defense is going to be one of the best in the league, like it's been, the last few years, especially in points. Bill always has at least a bend but don't break defense. I will say this, Patriots probably will have a better pass rush than they usually have. They have a lot of good linebackers that can rush the ball this year. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to see Mac Jones. I want to see him go against ones because everybody said, oh, preseason, he didn't play against ones. But I also, would, say he didn't get to play with his number one options either. So he had guys dropping the ball because they weren't the receivers that he's going to be throwing to now.
Yeah, you're right. So his chemistry should be solid week 1 with those new weapons that he's never thrown to.
Well, I think it's going to be a pretty vanilla offense, actually. I think they're going to pound the rock and only rely on him when they have to. So if he might have less than 200 yards this week.
Brian Flores will never see it coming.
It doesn't matter. You kidding me?
Okay.
That offensive line, they're going to steamroll. They're all set.
Okay.
Because Miami defense is trash.
Yeah,
it's not
Miami's-
trash, but I don't think it's as good as it was last year.
Who'd they lose on defense?
They lost Van Noy. They lost...
Oh, no, not Van Noy.
I feel like they lost one of their corners.
Van Noy?
Not one of their top 2, but I think their nickel guy. It was Eric Rowe, I think. I don't think he's still there. But anyways.
No, he's not.
Yeah. I'm just letting you know my opinion. You guys can believe what you want. You guys will see it on Sunday if you actually watch the game. You'll know. Brian's right. So.
No.
All right.
That's not happening. And you know that.
Yeah, you guys just...
You have false confidence. Like, you want to believe so deep in your heart that they're going to win. But on Sunday, that self-doubt will creep in. And you will realize that the Patriots are not there yet. And they're going to be a mediocre team this year. So...
Okay.
You're going to embrace it from week 1.
Let me ask you. Hey, Ryan, did I have false confidence last year? Or did I say from the very get-go that Cam Newton sucked?
No,
But you're not saying the Patriots
No.
suck right now. What you're saying is the Patriots are going to do good. You're looking for Mac Jones. If I recall, because I was listening to our previous episodes, I believe it was episode 5 where you said, I hope that Bill Belichick just cut the string on Cam and just let Mac Jones go. Because, oh, baby, when it gets to week 4, first Tom Brady, oh, that's going to be a good one. I recall you said that.
I think it could be a good game. I'll double down on it now.
Okay.
I'd still give the Bucs the edge. I still think they'll win, but
You're like, I'll give them the edge. It's a close game. It's only the team that I've literally said will probably go undefeated this year. But they'll make it close. The Pats are up here.
Skin of their teeth. Like,
Whatever.
I don't think the Patriots are going to get blown out at all this year. I think that they'll have all close games.
Okay.
Within a score.
And I want hair back on my head.
Good luck.
Exactly. Good luck, Patriots.
Okay.
Anyway, man.
Mark the tape. Mark the tape.
Yeah, mark it, man. You know me. I'm good for 30 minutes.
Okay.
That's where we're at.
Right.
I'm going to mark it right there. Cool. All right. So, hitting on mine, my game of the week that I'm looking forward to is the Chargers versus not Redskins. The football team. Sorry. I had to, my brain wouldn't let me say that because that's not the right word. Right? Washington football team. I'm looking forward to that game. Of course, I'm a Chargers fan, right? But I'm looking forward to the game more so because of Washington, the Redskins. I think that they have a football team. Sorry guys, I keep getting hit with the football team. I think
just start calling them the Red Wings or the Red Wolves, whatever they're going to change their name to.
Yeah, the red team. All right. So anyway, Washington's team. I think they have a baller defense, man. I think their defense it will have the same type of caliber plays they did last year. But I think having Ryan Fitzpatrick and Curtis Samuel is going to be a good addition to the team. I think it's going to make them more versed. Logan Thomas is going to have somebody to throw him the ball more consistently that he knows can get him the ball there. Same thing with Scary Terry. I think he's going to have a great year. And then Antonio Gibson in the backfield. And, the little dark horse, J.D. McKissick, catching the ball at the backfield as well.
Smooches.
I think that makes him hard to stop offensively. And, the Chargers is the Chargers, right? We're going to surprise you some games and then lose most of the games, right? But that's kind of how it is. No, to be honest, I think, like I said before, we win. When I look back in, we probably win 10 games. I think we win 10 games just because some of the games I don't think people can keep up with us with, scoring wise. I think Justin Herbert has a decent year, but more so our defense play, picks up. I think that was the issue last year. Our defense sucked. But having Derwin James back, I think, that gets everybody riled up a little bit and have everybody kind of match his level of play, which I think
Bosa's healthy, right?
Yeah, I think healthy, right? All healthy, whatever that means, right? When you get to this stage, a lot of guys like, I'm healthy, and then week 4, they're like, yeah, I got a knee sprain, a back sprain, and you're like, okay, whatever. But no, I think Derwin James, if they just match his intensity on defense, I think it'll be good. I think we'll be decent. So.
Didn't you have the Chargers going like 12 wins though?
Yeah, I had them going 12-4. That's what I did. I had them going 12-4.
12-5, yeah.
12-5, sorry.
So did I. So I don't know why you're lowering your expectations already. I need you to, continue with the confidence that you had in the last episode where we made our picks.
Yeah. That's right.
Come on,
keep that same energy, right?
What are you doing? Don't back down. We haven't played a game yet, and you're already backing out. I don't like it.
The only reason why I'm backing out now is because I don't trust Eckler. Like, I don't. And I didn't before. And people were like, get on the hype train. Eckler's going to have a balling year. Last year, he just got injured. He's going to have a balling year. And then guess what? Week 1 comes around and Jimmy hamstrings, they get tender. Hamstrings tender week 1. I'm like, oh, man, here we go.
Yeah, but
we go with this.
I don't think you guys' offense really is that reliant on a run game. I think that, yeah, he's great coming out of the backfield as a pass catcher.
Yeah.
But Herbert knows how to spread the ball around. He doesn't necessarily need that,
Yeah, but no, right? But like, if you look at him last year, a lot of the targets just went to Keenan Allen. That was it. Like, Mike Williams got a couple deep posts or goals every now and then, but most of the targets went to Keenan Allen. And going into year 2, people are going to see that. They're like, all right, we know you want to go to Keenan Allen, we want to take that away. But having Austin Eckler back there,
how are you going to stop Keenan Allen? He's like one of the best route runners in the game.
Because you're gonna say, all right, you beat us with Mike Williams, you beat us with Guyton, or you beat us with what's his
Palmer,
name? The other receiver, and Palmer. Yeah, you beat us with them. If they beat us, then guess what? You guys got it. But Keenan Allen's not gonna beat us.
I say
so
good
if
luck
you do
to
that,
defenses on that one.
Yeah, good. Like you say, good luck to defense on that. But having Austin Eckler is harder to do that, right? Because he's shifty like that, and he can catch the ball at the backfield, so it makes them have to scheme better. That's what I'm saying. But, without him in there, I think it's a complete difference in, like, how our offense looks. Until we get a number 2, because Mike Williams just doesn't want to be the number 2. So.
Yeah, he likes to get injured, too. So.
Yeah, and I don't believe in Jared Cook.
Yeah. Well, that leads me to my picks later on. I'll save it for Ryan's Fantasies.
Okay.
But just know I'm teasing that. So I'm going to go with a pretty chalk play. And I'm going to go with I'm looking forward to the most is the Chiefs versus the Browns. It's just I like everything. Even though Baker Mayfield pisses me off sometimes because of how he acts, I think I like that they're a smash mouth football team. I like the Browns. I like the way Nick Chubb runs. He's like one of my favorite running backs in the league. And I think that they could give the Chiefs some fits week 1. Now, will they be able to keep up with them scoring wise? We'll see. But the Browns have a good enough defense that maybe they slow them down. And we'll see, like Brian brought this up, we'll see how that offensive line does for the Chiefs this year. Because usually guys that are new with playing together, that offensive line room needs to work on their chemistry together. And if they're just not with it week one, they're gonna have a hard time against a pretty hard pass rush. Because what's his name? Who's the dude they drafted in the second round? The linebacker from Notre Dame, Joke. The Browns drafted him.
Yeah, the crazy name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. Like,
we'll just start
I'm
calling him
sorry,
Joke.
guys. I have to do better with pronunciation. Like, I'm terrible, especially with last names. So I apologize to our listeners out there and our viewers. Anyway,
Myles Garrett is going to be all over Pat Mahomes. The Browns all offseason have literally just watched the Super Bowl and have been like, we're just going to do exactly what the Tampa Bay Bucks did, and that's how they're going to try and beat the Chiefs. So, I mean, we'll see. I love Pat Mahomes too. So, like, watching him like run around, do some no-look passes, it's going to be an entertaining game. And I want to see. I want to see. Oh yeah, they do have Clowney. So they're no slouch. The Browns are no slouch, and I want to see what Odell Beckham does. We haven't seen him in the preseason. We haven't seen him at all. I want to see him out there. And here's my problem. Could I see a scenario where he balls out this year? Yes. My only other issue with it is that we've seen him with Baker. We've seen him for like almost a whole season with Baker, and he wasn't that good. They weren't that good. So I don't know if it was like Baker and Odell didn't have the chemistry or what was happening. It just didn't look good. So it gives me a question. Don't worry, I've drafted Odell in leagues, so I'm buying in on the name or the notoriety of his name. But like, it could blow up in my face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's kind of any player. But I think that they put an emphasis on like having that chemistry. Like from everything that I've seen, right, or I've heard with him and Jarvis, and you know, like some of the players like going out to California, going out to Texas, to where Baker's from, like going different places, going to Louisiana, like just trying to mesh together as smoothly as possible so they could be successful this year. I think they realized that, like, listen, our defense is going to be tip top. If we could just do our part and we can get it together, like, then that's what matters. And at the end of the day, Odell just cares about winning, right? And Jarvis just cares about winning.
Women.
Nice.
Well,
yeah.
cares about
and Nick Chubb just cares about winning as well. And like everybody just wants to win. So like I don't think they really care. I think this probably be the most unselfish year you see for them as an offense, that they don't care where it's going. As long as they're putting points up, then I think they'll be happy. So
you know who my sleeper wide receiver for is with the Browns? Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Who?
I like Donovan Peoples-Jones. Just wait.
Why?
Just wait.
Why? Why do you like him more than Anthony Schwartz?
I think he's gonna rise as the number 3. And I believe in some camp buzz that I was hearing about him. So
he's a baller, man. He's always been a baller since Michigan days. And he showed a little bit last year, but who knows?
All right, that's it.
I don't know. All right, cool. All right, well, we'll just wrap straight into the Ryan's fantasies, and what you got for us when it goes around fantasy?
Oof. All right, so I'm gonna try and like burn through some of this. So if you're playing DFS this year, one of the tips I like to do with DFS is to look at the Vegas lines and take like the highest over-under scores and try and get players in that game, because Vegas is usually right, like 60-70% of the time on like scoring wise. So like if they say, for example, the Chiefs versus the Browns, that's a 53-point over-under the last time I checked. That's a lot of points in a game, and the Chiefs are 6-point favorites. So therefore, like their implied point total is like 29.5 points. So if they're scoring 29 points in a game, 30 points, you're going to want players on the Chiefs in your game. You're going to have to spend up on players like Travis Kelce, but like at that tight end position, that's where I would do that. I would do it at like the tight end position.
Can we pause for a second?
Yeah.
Do you guys, listeners, hear the analysis that's behind Ryan in his Ryan fantasy segment. Like this is next level. Y'all not gonna get this nowhere else. I just want y'all to understand that. Like he is
not for free.
Down.
Not for free.
Not for free. You know what I'm saying? Not for free. You know what I mean? You don't got the answers, Sway. You don't got the answers, right? Like he's giving you next level. Don't look forward to that in BK bets, right? Because me and Brian, we ain't going there BK. So that's why we put it in Ryan fantasy, right? So enjoy it while you got it, okay? So my bad. Go ahead, Ryan.
Dude, all right. I'm only gonna touch on a couple more games. You want to get players in the Titans game, Titans versus Arizona, because that's a high point total game. You want the Arizona Cardinals receiving options because the secondary for the Titans is sus. Like I think their starting receiver is like Byron Murphy, and they have the first round draft pick that they drafted that is coming off an injury. I don't even know if he's going to play the first game, but like everyone else is literally like randos. Robert Alford, Marco Wilson. These are just like random players that they're throwing out there in their secondary. So if you like Arizona receiving options, try and pick up some. Bills, Steelers, obviously high point total. Packers, New Orleans, and the San Francisco 49ers and the Detroit Lions. One of the tips I would say about picking games like this, where the San Francisco 49ers versus the Detroit Lions, you want to, even though it's implied that they're going to score 26, 27 points, the 49ers, the Detroit Lions are only going to score 19. They're going to be running the ball a ton. So you want to pick like the running back options for players like this. Whereas with like the Browns in Kansas City, you can go receivers because it's like, you know, the Browns are going to be coming from behind or trying to score to keep up with the Chiefs. So it's receiver. Same thing with Titans versus Arizona. It's going to be back and forth, but Derrick Henry's going to eat. You know how we like it. And that's all I have for the games I think you should target. In terms of like DFS players, I'm only going to do FanDuel options, and I want to name just a couple players per position that I think you should try and get in your lineup. For example, Baker Mayfield at the quarterback position, he's only 7,100 on FanDuel. And then I'll honorable mention this for Brian. Mac Jones, if you want to send a prayer, he's down there at 6,200. He's down there with players like Jordan Love, Gardner Minshew, backup quarterbacks you can get at 6,200. So, like, if you want to throw a Hail Mary, he's a starting quarterback for a team that's going to play week 1, and you're going to get him dirt cheap. That's if you want to spend up at the tight end position, like I was saying, for like someone like Travis Kelce. I don't know if you guys, feel free to jump in if you guys like have players that like you don't know their price, but like let me know if you got players you want to target. Let's hear it, Brian.
I got one. You're talking about quarterbacks right now. Trevor Lawrence going against that awful Houston team. He's only 6,800.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's only 60.
Yeah,
I like
know,
that.
I don't. Yeah, and obviously, Levinsky should know that is like my dark horse for all year. I feel like ever since Travis Kelce and Travis Etienne has gotten injured, I feel like he's going to get those targets. And I know he's probably cheap as well because nobody is thinking Jaguars is going to do anything this year, right? Everybody's thinking they're going to have a losing season. So that would be mine. You know, if you say Travis Lawrence, Brian, just get the guy that he's probably going to be throwing to.
Even if the Jaguars have a losing season, they're still going to be competitive. So, I mean, and in fantasy, that's all that really matters.
Yep.
Well, that leads right into my running back pick. James Robinson at 5,900 against Houston. They're going to be running the ball because I think that Houston's going to be garbage. They're not going to be able to keep up with anyone. Yeah. And then I also like players like Raheem Mostert against Detroit because they're going to be running the ball a lot. And I still think Mostert can pop off like a 70-yard run on like 5. Like he can rush for 5 carries and get like 150 yards just because he's so fast that he could just break through. So he doesn't need a lot of touches to get you fantasy points. And then another dart throw if you really want to be saucy. Nyheim Hines. Last year he scored week 1 23 points in the opener and then was a dud every other game. But like for some reason, Frank Wright loves Nyheim Hines. He wasn't a dud every other game, but he was like either he was getting 20 points, he was getting 3 points. He was getting 20 points, He's getting 3. You couldn't guess. But I think week 1, he's trying to get Nyheim Hines the ball, and he's getting him involved. And that's the same thing he did last year. And then wide receiver, you got Callaway against Green Bay. Granted, the options at who he's going up against, Jair Alexander, is a pretty tough matchup. But he's only 5,200, so that's nice. And then Michael Pittman Jr. at 5,300 against Seattle. They're going to be throwing the ball, trying to come back against Seattle because they're a high-powered offense, or Seattle's a high-powered offense. And then last but not least, tight end. I wanted to pick Logan Thomas because of everything you said about Ryan Fitzpatrick, but I think the addition of Derwin James coming back to that team, I'm staying away from Logan Thomas because I think there's no way Derwin James comes back with the intensity. He's not going to let some dude come in and catch for a bunch of touchdowns. He's going to be all over Logan Thomas. So players I like at tight end, if you really want to do a dart throw, I prefer to pay up for a tight end like Travis Kelce or Darren Waller, who's got consistency. But I would do someone like Zach Ertz because I still think he's not going anywhere, and I think they're going to feed him a little bit to try and get some trade value up. And then the second tight end for the Chargers, Parham Jr., because everyone's loving the addition of Jared Cook, but I have literally heard nothing about Jared Cook. And Parham is only 4,300 in FanDuel, and if you throw him in there as like a dart throw in like a GPP lineup, where like you're playing with like a bunch of group of people, that could be the difference of like winning like $1 million and like just getting low mid money value of like $10 or whatever. That's all I got. That's it. I mean, I know it's a lot, but
that was phenomenal. Like, I just want to let you know that you set the foundation, so every week they're going to be expecting that. Like, people are going to be expecting that greatness like that. And FanDuel, you guys hear us out there, come on now. We're bringing money to you guys, so you don't need to hit us up. Hit us up. We can make some connections, right?
Yeah.
So with all that being said, we're going to get straight into BK bets. Me and Brian have a lot to live up to because Ryan's fantasies actually met everybody's fantasies. Like, people weren't even expecting that. That was just next level. All right. So we'll get into BK bets. I know Brian is going to have some NFL picks for you guys. I'm going to touch on the college side. So if you guys were tracking with us last week, we guys gave you some picks that hit. I know we had 2 3-team parlays last week, and then we had a 16 together. Collectively, that 16 didn't hit, but that second 3-team parlay did hit. If you guys put that out there with the Georgia, Florida, and Alabama, all 3 of those hit. I actually won some money off of that. So we guys, we're 1-1 in that regards, right? Getting into this week for college, I have right now, because I'm gonna have another 3-team for you guys, but for right now, we have Rutgers at -2. You're going to have South Carolina at -2. And then you're going to have Army at -6.5. If you watched any of those games last week, Rutgers, I'm a Temple owl, right? But they got dominated last week. Like, Temple, we got put a 60 point on us. Like, it was ugly. South Carolina, I got some ties down there. They are looking good on offense. I think they have a decent game that they should be able to win. And then Army, that triple option is hard to stop. And a lot of teams don't focus, especially early in the year, don't focus on, disciplined football. So I think that's a way that you can win your money right there. If you put $50 down there, I think the odds was plus 589. So $50 can get you guys around, what is that? The 270 range. 270 range you could win. So total payout 320. So yeah, that's what we have on the college side. Ryan, do you have anything to touch for NFL?
Yeah, I just want
anything in college too.
I just want to do a disclaimer. I'm more of a riskier better. I like to go for the big money line
because it ain't his money.
Well, listen, I will bet money. Don't worry. Kenny knows. I went to the casino with him. I'll throw it around.
Big spender.
Listen, I like this matchup week 1. It's Cleveland. I'm taking the money on them. It's plus 230. You're going to more than double your money. Actually triple your money. You're going to win 230 if you bet 100. So, yeah. I don't think that Kansas City is going to be meshed yet as a team. They're one of those teams that's coached more old school, kind of like the Patriots. They build slow. So I think if you're going to catch them off guard, week 1 is where to do it. I think Cleveland is going to be coming out to prove a point to start the season because they were probably a little disappointed with how their season ended last year. So I just feel it. I'm feeling Cleveland. So take that. Take that. You know, and obviously with that, you know, if you're too comfortable with taking the money line with them, at least bet the spread. Plus 6.5. This is gonna be a close game. I don't care which way it goes. I don't think this is gonna be. It will be a shootout, but I don't think it's gonna be close. I mean, I do think it's gonna be close. So, and that's only -110. Most of your spreads gonna be around -110.
Yeah, dollar down. Yep.
But listen, the one favorite I'm taking is San Francisco. -7.5 is the spread. Sorry, but Detroit sucks. Okay.
Shocker.
San Francisco is going to have a double-digit lead. If they don't, I won't make any more bets this year. Okay? Yeah. I'm putting that right there.
I would say one thing to you guys. Be wary of, the hooks on when you have a game that's like 6.5, 7, cool. That's normal scoring, right? You score a touchdown. But when you have those hooks that's 7.5, that's the bookies' way or Vegas' way of saying they feel that the game is going to end on 7. So rather than keep it there, they put it at 7.5 hook because they know most people are going to bet on San Francisco. Yep. So they want to lead you one way or another. So if you put betting on whatever site, buy that hook, man. It pays to buy the hook so you can win the money. Even if you break even, that's better than losing whatever you bet. But my bad, Brian. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. See, that's more analysis than I'm giving you. I'm just giving you my picks. Okay. And it's just the way I operate. All right. And then also one more spread that I got is Pittsburgh plus 6.5. I think that's going to be a close game against Buffalo. Pittsburgh has a defense to kind of contain that offense a little bit. Granted, keep an eye out if TJ Watt's going to play or not. That's a major problem if he doesn't play. But I think even without him, Pittsburgh does have still a pretty good defense. Yeah. I might not take the bet if he doesn't play though. So keep an eye on that.
Are they playing at Pittsburgh or they're playing in Buffalo?
It's in Buffalo, but you got a veteran quarterback in Roethlisberger. That shouldn't shake that team to play in Buffalo.
For sure. And I know Tomlin going to have them ready because everybody's already counting them out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they got a little chip on their shoulder already. So and they got the firepower to keep up.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they win it. To be honest with you, I'm not going to take that bet. But I wouldn't be surprised if they did win it.
I mean, look, week 1, that's where you're going to get more hiccups, because some teams just aren't ready to go yet.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
Yeah, that's what we have for BK Bets, guys. Like always, with Ryan's Fantasies, BK Bets, you guys analyze your own risk, right? We're putting give you guys picks, but at the end of the day, make sure you analyze your own risk before you put money out there. I don't want anybody saying, you guys said this and y'all. Listen, analyze your own risk. That's all I'm going to say, right? And then, I'm out of it.
Nobody's 100%. So
yeah, nobody's 100%, right? We're just, giving you guys picks that we think should hit, right? That doesn't mean they are going to hit. But anyway, like always, man, we appreciate you guys joining us. We're going to be posting these things on social media as far as like our picks go. So you'll see that on Instagram. So make sure you guys follow us on Instagram. And then, if you guys like what we bring to the table, we're putting some money in your pockets, you guys share that. And then also you can guys follow us on Action Sports. We'll have, Two Joes and a Pro of our own little page on there. We're tracking our picks for the year. So you can see, our percentage or our ROI, our return on investment, what we guys are bringing to you. You guys can see us on that. And then on YouTube, subscribe, leave comments, let us know what you like and dislike. And like always, we'll see you next week. You guys have a great weekend. Enjoy the football. Peace.
See ya.
Peace.